Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 150 based on novel. So let's start. At the time, Luo Feng had reached the end of the first level of the 9 universe bridge. Choose your opponent. You can choose a fighter, spirit reader controller, spirit reader hypnotist, pick anyone. If you win against your opponent, you'll pass the first level. Ahead of Luo Feng was a huge cloud mist. From it the voice boomed. According to the information Luo Feng had acquired, he had to defeat his opponent before the mist would dissipate and he would be able to enter the second level. I choose controller. Luo Feng exclaimed. From the mist flew out a black liquid. This black liquid began to condense and gather in mid-air, forming a mysterious human silhouette with a black mask. This mysterious man stood on a dark cloud shuttle, carrying a dark golden long rod, the Nanshan armament. Behind the black mask his cold eyes stared at Luo Feng, and he shouted, "Let the battle begin. Defeat him and you'll be able to proceed to the second level." That cloud mist resounded. How is he so similar to me, using the dark cloud shuttle and the Nanshan armament? Luo Feng squinted. With a thought, 6 square-shaped absolute void shields along with the blood shadow blade's golden shadow blade, simultaneously a dark golden long rod behind him immediately shot out a total of 54 beams of light. Every 9 beams swiftly combined and formed very real golden blades that were 1/3 of a meter long. The Nanshan armament second level, sky-piercing formation. The main form was to create one true blade, however Luo Feng immediately produced 6 of them. One of the reasons was because he had broken through from the star level 9 to the universe level 1, and more importantly, over his 3 years travel through the universe, his strength had increased shockingly. Kill. The mysterious man roared. The dark cloud shuttle rushed over and he swiftly formed 3 real golden blades behind him too. The 2 of them were both controllers. Both rushed towards each other swiftly, one controlling 6 golden blades while the other 3 over these 3 years. I haven't relaxed at all. Compared to the genius battle, I'm much stronger than before. I will let you test my powers. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed with endless fighting spirit. 6 golden blades immediately seemed extremely well organized, working about each other and immediately piercing forward. In mid-air, the 6 blades engaged in a frenzied battle against the mysterious person's 3 blades. What's going on? Luo Feng was shocked within. Before coming to Primal Chaos City, he was already able to unleash 6 blades. Controlling these 6 blades had become comfortable and best for himself as he was used to it. Even after studying the Primal Chaos tablet for 7 days, with huge improvements, he still chose to use only 6 blades as this was his most optimum attack formation. He actually blocked it. I don't believe this. Luo Feng's eyes were cold. 6 golden blades, almost like 6 excellent soldiers working together, attacking and pulling back together, very perfect, attacking time and again, trying time and again to break through the 3 golden blades to kill the enemy. However, fail. 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 Failure over and over. That mysterious person's 3 blades were controlled in a very special way, almost as though the 3 weren't separate at all, but was one perfect body. The 3 blades gave off a feeling of endless waves rushing towards the enemy. Like an enormous mountain that reached the skies, immovable. How is this possible? Luo Feng was shocked within. I'm using 6 blades, he only has 3, how can I not have any advantage? Hard work. He tried time and again with different methods to control the 6 blades with perfect precision, however the opponent stayed floating in mid-air, easily blocking with the 3 blades. Stupid, you don't even know something so simple. The mysterious man's eyes through the black mask had a sense of ridicule. And you think you can pass the first level? Go and die. The 3 blades the masked man was controlling suddenly changed formation. They suddenly drew closer to each other, giving off a 3 become 1 feeling, like a huge blade that was insatiable and powerful. Luo Feng was shocked within as he controlled his 6 blades to block it. Rumble. With a huge clash, his 6 blades were completely knocked away. How? In the distant air, Luo Feng was taken aback. Ha ha, stupid. 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 The mysterious man roared. Against the 3 rainbows that pierced over, Luo Feng roared fiercely. Rise. Rumble. 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 3 more golden blades rose from behind Luo Feng, the 6 that were knocked away rose back up too. Luo Feng's body glowed in a glaring golden light, it rippled throughout in all directions, and later swiftly condensed itself around the 9 blades. The 9 blades seemed to form a large formation. With golden threads weaving in and through, the golden energy flowed throughout with the blades within, with Luo Feng as the center of a 300 round space. Immediately a glaring golden energy world was formed, with countless amounts of energy flowing within that ball of space. It may have seemed slow. In truth, the moment the 9 blades rose, they swiftly formed the ball of space. Nanshan Armament's third level, Heavenly Blade Formation, also known as the Blade Domain. There were a total of 9 levels in the Nanshan armament, of which the second level, the Sky-Piercing Formation, was the fusion of 9 golden illusionary blades to form one true blade. The third level, however, required simultaneously producing 9 true blades, that's equivalent to 81 golden little blades, forming them in total. It was extremely difficult, hundreds of times more so than the second level. Luo Feng was able to successfully unleash this. With his huge improvement over the past 3 years, and his spirit energy reaching universe level 1. The 3 beams of golden rainbows seemed to get lost within that round space, weakened by the countless blade energy, their speed slowing by quite a bit. I admit you are very strong, however against absolute strength, you will still lose. Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle and rushed swiftly towards the distant mysterious man. Sword Domain, with Luo Feng as the center. Luo Feng rushed, the entire domain swiftly followed him. Break. The mysterious man swiftly dodged and let out a roar. The 3 blades he controlled immediately closed in together. Countless golden threads weaved through, surrounding these blades and forming a golden huge blade. The dreamy golden huge blade swiftly knocked away the countless blade energy obstructing it, and with its dreamy rainbow light, pierced towards Luo Feng. What move is this? Luo Feng was shocked. He trained with the Nanshan armament, studied it, yet he didn't know this move, Heavenly Blade. Luo Feng roared. The 9 blades that formed the sword domain immediately became one body, and with his spirit reading control, immediately one of the blades was like a hunting leopard, bringing with it the power of the sword domain, and immediately pierced towards that golden huge blade. The entire domain with the countless blade energy seemed to have received orders to empower the blade, following it from behind, a golden blade empowered with the sword domain. A huge golden blade formed by the 3 blades. They clashed, rumble. The golden blade immediately got knocked back. That golden huge blade was like a large ship smashing its way forward, immediately knocking away his blade and reaching before him. Without any time to dodge, Luo Feng wielded his blade to form a shield, rumble. Luo Feng used his shield trying to deflect some of the force away, yet he only felt as though a majestic mountain had crashed into him, causing his entire body to tremor with fresh blood spewing out of his mouth. No wonder even the heavenly blade couldn't stop it, this power is too unbelievable. Following which his consciousness was lost. When he awoke, he had returned to the virtual universe's Yuxiong Mountain, within the absolute beginning region, his own villa, Your Majesty. The waiters and guards bowed. Luo Feng nodded. Your Majesty went to try the heavenly bridge. How did it go? The villa head, also the leader of the guards, Sector Lord Ao Duo Liku, asked. Failure. Luo Feng shook his head. The heavenly bridge is very hard to pass. Failure during the first time is very normal. Your Majesty needn't fret too much about it. Ao Duo Liku said. Luo Feng seemed very calm on the surface. He returned to his study. Within the study, I lost. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Our batch of 1,000, about 900 have been tested, except for Bolan passing the 2 levels, no one else has made it. Failure, I'm no exception. However, the first opponent I met similarly uses the Nanshan armament, using only 3 golden blades. He actually broke my heavenly blade formation, foundation. Luo Feng, I've always said the foundation is very important. You are able to unleash 9 golden blades to form the heavenly blade formation. He only used 3 blades, yet he can win. This is the importance of foundation. On his shoulder, the fist-sized Barbata shouted, it's not the same. He uses the Nanshan armament in a totally different way. Luo Feng recalled the battle before, be it controlling 6 blades, or 9, no matter, they seemed to be single units, like 6 or 9 soldiers working together. The way he controlled it, however, he was actually able to amplify their powers, like one true body. Especially that last move, the 3 blades fused together to form one huge golden blade. Nanshan Armament 3rd Level Heavenly Blade Formation. The Nanshan Armament's 4th level, great work with little labor. This 4th level, in truth, was a great formation of the huge blade becoming one body, with absolute power to crush the enemy. I feel that his move was similar to the 4th level. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. However, it's still different from the 4th level. The 4th level is much more complex and stronger than his, and he was merely fusing 3 blades. However, their fusion power was absurd. This is the trial of the 9 Universe Tablet. The first picture of the 9 Universe Tablet flashed across Luo Feng's mind, the raindrop picture. There were a total of 9 drops. After 7 days of study, he didn't have a lot of comprehension from it. At this time he recalled the battle scene, thinking of the raindrop picture. He seemed to recall a part of the picture of which 3 drops seemed to fuse together. Don't tell me. Luo Feng's eyes glowed brighter. The 7 days of study in his mind began to fuse with his 3 years of study and experience of the Nanshan armament. The ideas clashed and ignited a huge spark of inspiration within. Ideas and thoughts began to form continuously. Excited. Anticipation. I understand. I understand. Luo Feng couldn't help but shout out, I shouldn't blindly follow the blueprints. Luo Feng couldn't help but laugh out loud. The Nanshan armament was built as a weapon by a strong warrior. Blindly following its most basic ways of usage is too rigid and too stupid. No wonder he called me stupid. It was indeed very stupid. The raindrop picture, that's the true way to unleash the strongest power from the Nanshan armament, 9 Universe Primal Chaos Tablet. It held within it the true pathway. Even the usage of any weapon, among everything else, can be comprehended through this huge pathway, eventually finding the most correct path. Even though he failed this time, however, the benefit and thoughts that stirred from it was even better than success. Let's begin. Luo Feng couldn't wait any longer. Virtual Universe Training Grounds, the most optimum simulation place. As the virtual universe allowed one to customize the most optimized simulation, it being 100% similar to reality was not a surprise at all. Hence, compared to actually training in reality, in terms of experience, comprehension, effect, etc., they were completely the same. Just like how the cost of using the slaughterhouse was extremely high, countless warriors still go there, and as a core member and having his own training ground, Luo Feng was in no rush to look around in Primal Chaos City's skies for the origin law energies, but immerse himself in comprehending the sparks of inspiration he had about the 9 Universe Tablet from before. Your Majesty, His Majesty Wuka is here for a visit. The bald sector Lord Ao Duo Liku shouted. Wuka. Luo Feng left the training grounds, becoming a blur and piercing through 10 kilometers of distance, immediately arriving at the entrance of the villa. Luo Feng, something big has happened. This silver-clothed black-haired youth rushed over. What's up? Luo Feng smiled and asked, it's Rong Jun. The Manca Prince was flushed red with excitement, saying, you probably don't know, yesterday we went to the Heavenly Bridge to test. Our batch of 30 were all under the huge axe bridge. However, including me, everyone else failed the first level, only Rong Jun passed. Our batch of 1,000, only Bolan and Rong Jun passed. Bolan passed 2 levels and Rong Jun passed 1, everybody else failed even the first level. What? Luo Feng was shocked. Rong Jun succeeded? In the genius battle before, he and Rong Jun were pretty close in levels. And during these 3 years of travel, his 3 great bodies had been training at a shocking rate. Even though it was not evident on the surface, Luo Feng had concluded he was enough to be ranked second. However, the outcome of the Heavenly Bridge was still like that, and also, just earlier. Wuka continued, the leader of the Yuan Chen Universe Country, accepted Rong Jun as his disciple within Primal Chaos City. Universe Country leader? Luo Feng was stunned. Universe Country leader, dominating a vast universe country, even within the vast universe, they were considered among the governing level, under them were large amounts of undyings. How can that be? Luo Feng couldn't believe it. Even Bolan didn't attract any universe country leaders to come accept him as a disciple, right? I couldn't believe it either. Wuka shook his head. At the universe country leader level, there's absolutely no need to accept a disciple. They are already absolute beings that haven't fallen for over 1 trillion years, beings that oversee a universe country. Even Bolan, his chances of becoming a universe country leader are extremely slim. Hence, geniuses aren't worth the universe country leaders taking in as disciples. However, the Yuan Chen universe country leader really took Rong Jun in. The news I got is definitely accurate. Right now the 1008 universe countries upper echelons are all receiving the news. This, Luo Feng couldn't help but lose his composure. Did the heavens drop some treats for him? Death God Bolan, an absolute genius that everyone else from that batch naturally had to respect. Even he didn't attract a universe country leader to personally accept him as a disciple. However, Rong Jun got a country leader as a teacher. This still isn't the most shocking thing. Wuka spoke in a hushed voice, I got this news from my father. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. It wasn't simply one universe country leader that wanted to take Rong Jun as a disciple, it was 2. Wuka's eyes gleamed. However, you should know that behind the 1008 universe countries lie the 5 great Leviathans. Among these 2 universe country leaders, one was from the Virtual Universe Company while the other from the huge Axe Dojo. As Rong Jun is a member of the Virtual Universe Company, he finally became a disciple of Yuan Chen Universe Country Leader. What? 2 universe country leaders competed for him? Luo Feng was speechless. No matter, Rong Jun is currently stronger than us. Wuka gripped his fist tight. Anyway, I won't admit defeat so easily. My father once said, these 30 years in Primal Chaos City is our beginning. 30 years, and the cornerstone of our future endeavors. The training in Primal Chaos City has just started. It's still hard to say who will come out on top. Luo Feng nodded. Not just Rong Jun, but Bolan was the #1 target Luo Feng wanted to overcome. How's your study of the 9-universe tablet? Wuka asked curiously. Still okay. Luo Feng said, I suggest you go to the empty training balconies around to take a look. There are many casual markings left behind by the earlier generations. Wuka smiled. With our movement speed, spending 10 days to half a month is enough to do a full sweep to find a marking that fits us. After all, Primal Chaos tablets are too profound, and other markings left behind may spark some inspiration. With these ideas sparking and helping each other, it will become easy to understand. That's what my father said. Luo Feng looked shocked at Wuka. His first attempt on the Heavenly Bridge alone had given him much inspiration, much improvement. This sort of ideas bouncing around was indeed effective. Thanks. Luo Feng said seriously. What thanks? There's only meaning when I compete with a strong person. The stronger the opponent, the faster my improvement. Wuka smiled. I'm leaving. I'm going to look for some markings. Knowing that Rong Jun was accepted as a disciple of a universe country leader, I'm currently burning with battle spirit. Following which he vanished. Luo Feng nodded. He couldn't look down on anyone. To be able to rank in the top 10 of 1008 universe country geniuses, no one should be overlooked. He had the Mosha clan, the golden horned beast. Could others have other special hidden trump cards behind? I've digested most of my 7 days of study. The first raindrop picture of the 9 universe, if I want to study it even deeper, a few days isn't going to do it. I too have to go look at some markings. Luo Feng's consciousness immediately left the virtual universe and back to Primal Chaos City, following which he began a large search through the Primal Chaos City grounds. Virtual universe, Lightning Island. Lightning Island was the gathering spot of the Undyings within the virtual universe, the gathering spot of the true elites. On the incredibly vast island, with clouds engulfing it, there were lightning snakes slithering about the corners of the island. If one said that the Yuxiong Mountain was larger than ordinary planets, then Lightning Island was more than 1,000,000 Yuxiong Mountains. This batch of 1,000 geniuses, after going through the Heavenly Bridge, how are the results? Sitting high in a throne, the green armored purple-scaled man's voice resounded down, booming across the incredibly huge shrine. Sir Knight. Below stood what seemed like an iron tower giant. An ape-man with golden fur. His golden fur was incredibly glaring, his entire being like a galaxy, glowing and glaring. He respectfully reported, this batch of 1,000 geniuses, 998 have all failed their first attempt. Bolan successfully passed 2 levels and Rong Jun passed 1. And watching the footage of their battles, the absolute beginning members seemed to have good performances, like Luo Feng, Jiang Shui, Wuka were all not bad. Compared to the genius battles, their improvements are huge. The green armored purple-scaled man nodded. Only that Rong Jun gave me a shock. Everyone else is still normal. Send the footage of Rong Jun's Heavenly Bridge battle to me. The green armored purple-scaled man ordered. Yes, Sir Knight. The ape-man respectfully sent over the footage. Following which a screen floated within the shrine, on it the footage blade of which savage Rong Jun was like a wild war god, brutal and fierce. That huge blade swung with perfection, every slash was incredibly fierce, finally killing the opponent using the same blade. The green armored purple-scaled man watched calmly till it ended, slightly creasing his eyebrows. You can leave, yes. The ape-man left respectfully. There was silence within the shrine. The green armored purple-scaled man watched the screen, muttering, it's weird, this Rong Jun's battle talents are indeed shocking. Even though his comprehension level isn't too strong, however he's able to unleash such terrifying strength. At such a young age creating his own technique, he is a very powerful genius. However, it still isn't enough for Yuan Chen or Ji Yu Lun, these 2 universe country leaders to compete to accept him as their disciple. Yuan Chen, Ji Yu Lun, these 2 have lived for a long time, much more ancient than I. The green armored man creased his eyebrows, and they reached the night level earlier than I did. Maybe they discovered something I haven't from the footage. As an absolute being similar to the Yuan Chen and Ji Yu Lun country leaders. Nine-Blade Knight was very clear the geniuses had no attractiveness to the universe country leaders. What was the point of nurturing a genius? Unless it was nurturing a universe country leader, otherwise it didn't have much benefit to themselves. Even Bolan didn't make anyone fight to accept him. Rong Jun, however, had 2 country leaders compete to accept him. There must be a secret. Yuan Chen, Ji Yu Lun, these 2 old punks are the country leaders that have lived the longest. They must have discovered something. Nine-Blade Knight watched the footage. With his level of being, he had already seen the footage and all its details incredibly clearly. Whatever could be discovered would have been discovered already. Why, what's the secret? Nine-Blade Knight pondered a while. he could only think deep within. Primal Chaos City, 7th level of the 9-level pagoda. Dressed in golden armor, the ape-man True Yang Emperor was discussing with the snake-tail lady about the Yuan Chen universe country leader coming to Primal Chaos City and accepting Rong Jun as his disciple. Rong Jun, his battle talents are extremely high. The snake-tail lady said hoarsely, his origin law comprehension might be lower, but he's able to explode with terrifying strength. Very exceptional. Among this batch of 1,000 geniuses from the virtual universe company, except for Bolan, the next is him. You can't just say that. True Yang Emperor said, of the 12 punks that chose the 9 universe tablet, there's one that isn't beneath Rong Jun, maybe even a stronger genius. You are speaking of Luo Feng. The snake-tail lady nodded. True, that punk is only universe level 1 and he's able to unleash the heavenly blade formation. However, he doesn't know how to adapt, stuck on the basic formations of the Nanshan armament. However, his origin law comprehension is very solid. With such instruction, his battle strength will rise greatly. In terms of origin law comprehension, Bolan is first and Luo Feng is indeed number 2. The ape-man True Yang Emperor rubbed his chin, muttering, this Luo Feng is definitely a good seedling in our 9-universe sect. I shall give him some hint. What are you doing? The snake-tail lady was shocked. What? That Rong Jun even has a universe country leader as a teacher. I'm just throwing some hints out. The ape-man shook his head. Right now in Primal Chaos City, within the 9-universe sect, I'm considered number 1. Those universe country leaders don't even look up to Luo Feng and Bolan. My standards aren't that high, I still respect them. When that Luo Feng passes the 3rd level of the Heavenly Bridge, he'll earn the right to listen to our classes, and after 100 seconds of thousands of years, we may have an absolute undying within our sect. Ha ha, the snake-tail lady shook her head and closed her eyes. Looking at the situation, the ape-man didn't disturb her any further, immediately vanishing from the tower. Within Primal Chaos City, the energies revolved about. Dressed in the armor formed by the cloud contact vine, Luo Feng was standing on a training balcony, looking at the other distant balconies. These past 8 days, he had been searching all over the city. There were many empty buildings all about the city that had markings left behind by the countless warriors before on the balconies. It wasn't just Luo Feng who was searching, the Manka Prince Wuka, Long Yun who had entered the primal region, and similarly others from the absolute beginning region Qian Shui, Rong Jun etc. They were all looking for markings. This group of geniuses were very clear. These 30 years in Primal Chaos City was their time to lock in their foundations, and the fastest way to improve wasn't to simply bury their heads in training. Using a dull axe requires greater work. Picking the appropriate route was very important. They didn't need to begin by looking straight at the origin laws movement. Hence, they were all looking for the markings left behind by their earlier generations of warriors. 112 of the markings, I have some interest in. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. Which do I choose? The 9 pictures of the 9-universe tablet was profound and deep. And the markings left behind by others were like detailed studies. They were able to let him further understand and study the tablet with greater efficiency. Luo Feng. A clear voice resounded. Luo Feng turned over. A long curly green-haired elegant girl with mysterious green markings on her skin descended onto the balcony. Smiling gently, she said, Luo Feng, have you found a marking suitable for you? Not yet. I discovered 112 that are not bad, but I don't know which to choose. Luo Feng shook his head. Qian Shui, have you found anything? Qian Shui, the genius pair of siblings from the AOGU Psi planet, both were similarly absolute beginning members. I'm pondering too. With teacher's guidance, I currently have 3 to choose from. Qian Shui smiled. I won't chat more with you. After my teacher saw your heavenly bridge battle, he said among our batch, your comprehension of the origin laws is comparable to Bolan, stronger than even Rong Jun's comprehension. Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. All the best. Having a lead now doesn't represent you leading in the future as well. These 30 years will be the greatest change. Qian Shui immediately flew up. I'm leaving. A green image was seen flying through the distant skies, vanishing within the chaos energy flow. Luo Feng frowned. Your batch of 1,000 geniuses, many have pretty decent backgrounds, with strong people guiding them from behind. Barbata said, it's a pity, I cannot help you. No problem. Luo Feng smiled, not minding at all. Suddenly, Barbata shouted shocked, Luo Feng, you've received a letter. It's from the Virtual Universe Company Internal Department. Luo Feng was shocked, sending out a part of his consciousness into the Virtual Universe Network. Virtual Universe Network, Absolute Beginning Region, Luo Feng's villa. In the study, Luo Feng sat in front of his laptop and opened the mail. Luo Feng, I've seen your footage on the Heavenly Bridge. It's not bad, only your usage of the Nanshan armament is too rigid. The weapon is dead, we are living. How to use the Nanshan armament, naturally has many much wider ranges of usage to unleash its full potential. You are currently studying the 9 Universe tablet. I suggest you buy a battle technique Floating Blood. It only requires 800 points. After buying this technique, head to Training Balcony 0290028981 and take a look. There are markings there left behind by the creator of the Floating Blood. Amongst those within the 9 Universe sect, this should be the most suitable for you, especially for the first 3 pictures of the 9 Universe tablet. Work hard, I'm expecting great things from you. True Yang, a simple letter, however, since it's from the Virtual Universe Company's internal department, it was anything but ordinary. As he himself was a core member within the company, most people didn't even know their own network ID. Finding another's ID and being able to send a letter via the internal department, this person was obviously a high-ranking person within the Virtual Universe Company. True Yang? Luo Feng sat in the study. Before, when he searched, he was only able to see several filtered normal news, other secret files, like the Bug Clan or Automaton Race, etc. Important information, these were all classified to him. However, now his position was high, his privileges were much higher too. Understood? Barbata said excitedly. The screen on the laptop immediately swiftly changed and large amounts of information appeared. These are all regarding True Yang. Barbata shouted. Luo Feng stared at the screen. There were many news articles and details. He couldn't help but get shocked. The True Yang technique was founded by the True Yang Emperor. Its purchase price within the Virtual Universe Company was actually priced at 800,000 points. My God, teacher's soul imprint. Barbata, you estimated it to only be worth about 10,000 points. This True Yang technique is actually that expensive. True Yang Emperor? Barbata was shocked. This True Yang is actually an emperor, what about it? Luo Feng asked curiously. Luo Feng. Barbata was extremely agitated. You don't know. Among all Undyings, in terms of power and position, they have huge differences. Normal Undyings can become generals and command a huge army of universe-level warriors. Several extremely powerful Undyings, however, can get the title official from the Virtual Universe Company of the huge Axe Dojo. Undyings with the title official are considered absolute beings amongst the Undying, like your teacher. He could barely get the title with his power, and the pinnacle of Undyings, even stronger and more invincible, they get the title Emperors. That's terrifying, and looking at this True Yang Emperor's technique actually reaching 800,000 points, my God, is definitely one of the Undyings amongst countless in the universe, closest to the universe country leader. That level of absolute being, this level of being, they are extremely powerful. Barbata said excited. Luo Feng realized within. General, official, emperor, these 3 titles had a definitely reflection of their strength. Barbata, back then the enemy that killed my teacher, how strong was he? Luo Feng asked. The excited Barbata was stunned for a while, his red eyes dimmed a little, before saying, back then the enemy that killed your teacher was very strong. Your teacher barely had the strength of an official, the enemy was probably the pinnacle of official, almost reaching the level of emperor. Luo Feng was shocked. His teacher, that level of being, was barely an official. His opponent was almost an emperor. No wonder his teacher lost so badly then. That level of warrior, in your Ganwu Universe country, he can rank amongst the top 3. Barbata said solemnly. Luo Feng was shocked. The Ganwu Universe country has over 10,000 Undyings. In 1,008 universe countries, the number that received the title Emperor are extremely few. All the absolute warriors normally don't stay within one universe country. Those able to receive this title are mostly underlings under the 5 great Leviathans or special lone wolves. Barbata said softly, every one of them are extremely strong, beings closest to becoming universe country leaders. One technique manual alone is able to sell for 800,000 points. This True Yang Emperor, even amongst the emperors, must be at the top. Barbata said, I saw a manual of a technique created by a universe country leader before in the treasure trove. It only sold for 1 million points. A technique made by a universe country leader sold for 1 million points. The technique created by the True Yang Emperor sold for 800,000 points. It was clear that the True Yang Emperor was terrifying. Ha ha, Luo Feng laughed. Barbata, you even said before, about who has big backgrounds etc. Luo Feng, I don't have any background or big person behind me, yet I'm able to attract others to give me pointers. Ha ha, within, Luo Feng felt extremely grateful to that mysterious absolute warrior True Yang Emperor. This letter for the True Yang Emperor was but a casual thought. To Luo Feng, however, it was a huge push in the right direction in solidifying his basics. Have you found Floating Blood? Luo Feng asked. Found it. On the screen Floating Blood appeared with its information. Compared to the vague introductions of True Yang Emperor before, the information on floating blood was a lot more detailed. Obviously the information on True Yang Emperor was extremely secretive. Luo Feng's level of access only allowed him to find the most basic of information. Floating blood, creator Lian Luo, is a basic technique in the Nine Universe sect, mainly explaining the 1st of March pictures, and it requires 800 points to exchange. Lian Luo was number 1 in an earlier genius competition. When chosen to enter the primal region, he chose the Nine Universe Primal Chaos Tablet. After over tens of thousands of years of training, he created the basic technique that was named one of the best floating blood. After becoming undying, he was immediately given the title Blood-Clothed Official. He fell in a particular universe secret area expedition. Luo Feng continued to read in detail. The information had more on Lian Luo's life. He was the number 1 in the genius competition, an absolute genius. The moment he became undying, he was immediately given the title Official. It was a pity he lived less than 100,000 years and he died way too early. It's a pity. Luo Feng shook his head. If he hadn't died too early, his future would have been limitless. Barbata exclaimed and shook his head too. Floating blood was a basic technique, made for those under undying to study, hence it wasn't priced high. However, just because it was low in price didn't mean it was lousy. Luo Feng required a basic level technique, and this floating blood was recommended by True Yang Emperor. It was obviously not lousy at all. 800 points. I only lack 800 points. Luo Feng forced a smile. I regret spending my 10,000 points at one go too easily. It's all gone. Who told you to spend so quickly? Barbata muttered. Wasn't it you who instigated it? Luo Feng shot a glare at Barbata on his shoulder. Forget it. I'll first head over to 02900289881 balcony to take a look, looking at the marking left behind by the genius Lian Luo from a trillion years ago. Looking at Lian Luo's history, Luo Feng could only sigh at this genius from a trillion years ago. He died too early. Not even living past 100,000 years, amongst the undying it was definitely considered a very short life. Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng immediately became a beam of light and swiftly flew within Primal Chaos City, looking for the training building balcony that Lian Luo had used back then. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.